Venom, The Last Dance. As within a review, this may contain spoilers. I didn't like it. I found the story to be a complete mess, and I'll explain why in a bit. The story picks up where the last one left off. Eddie and Venom are on the run in a bar in Mexico, where Eddie is the prime suspect in the murder of Detective Patrick Mulligan. We get introduced to scientists and government forces who study symbiotes and are stationed underneath Area 51. The government is aware of Eddie and Venom and pursues them. We also get introduced to Knull, the creator of the symbiotes, who was imprisoned by the symbiotes and seeks something called the Codex that Eddie and Venom possess. This is the third film in the Venom series, and it's by far the worst. I'm not a huge fan of these movies, but the first Venom has a unique charm that made it fun to watch. The second film wasn't as fun, and this third one was charmless, and the uniqueness was gone. I saw this movie with my brother while I was back in LA, and he liked it more than I did. I think he was still high on the Freddie Freeman Grand Slam from Game 1 of the World Series. We watched the Dodgers win with about 20 minutes before the movie started. While I was watching the movie, I was wondering why we were seeing very little Venom and more of Eddie Brock, and while that was later explained, some of the scenes made little sense. The biggest offender of this was the airplane scene. Eddie and Venom are holding on to the outside of the airplane on its flight to New York City. What bothered me about that scene was that Eddie's face wasn't being protected by Venom, and because of this, I can't imagine Eddie would be able to breathe in that situation. I understand why Venom can't come out, if you will, but that scene was silly to me. Look, maybe a human can survive in that scenario, but it seems very hard to believe. I know it's a comic book movie and certain things have happened, but this one really bothered me. Another scene that bothered me was the dance scene with Mrs. Chen in Las Vegas. At this point in the story, Venom is avoiding coming out because if he does, the Codex would be visible, allowing the creature hunting them to find them. Still, Venom decides to come out and dance with Mrs. Chen, which now puts her in danger. To top that scene off, why didn't the government forces take Mrs. Chen as they did with the bartender in Mexico? Wouldn't she be more valuable to the scientists studying the symbionts since she's literally dancing with one? Those little inconsistencies bother me. Also, don't get me started with the pacing of the film. It was bad. The government forces always seem to get to a place instantly, but at the same time, when they were pursuing Eddie and Venom, they would always be a hair behind. The main reason I said that the story is a complete mess is because it introduces a grand concept of other symbiotes and the creator of the symbiotes, but in a rushed manner. I'm not saying we didn't know of other symbiotes because obviously Carnage came out in Venom 2. What I'm saying is that this should have been the throughput of the series. It's very apparent to me that there was a lack of planning for this Venom series. Knull should have been introduced back in Venom 1 and culminating in The Last Dance. Instead, we get 3 loosely related movies that as a whole underwhelmed. Overall, this was my least favorite in the series. However, that doesn't mean you would enjoy it and it may be worth watching. If you stuck around this long, why not give the video a like, try it out, see if it works, subscribe, check out my other videos, leave a comment, let me know what you think of the film. See you in the next review.